reason you keep sabotaging your relationships was all set in place by the time you were 3 years old. Today, we're going to be exploring the avoidant attachment style, also known as dismissive avoidant in adults. For this attachment style, when intimacy increases in romantic relationships, avoidants pull away. Dating them can feel very lonely, especially if your love language is physical touch and quality time, which requires closeness and intimacy. But for avoidants, their love languages can tend to be words of affirmation and acts of service, both of which do not require a lot of intimacy. Today, we're going to be going more in depth on the avoidant attachment style, what it feels like for that little one as a child who's developing this, how it looks and feels for the adult who has it, and what it looks like for them in romantic relationships. If you're new to the channel, my name is Jess, and I typically work with women over the age of 30 to break free from self-sabotage and gain confidence. I help them to remove their subconscious blocks to love so that they can attract and be attracted to a partner who's right for them long term. If you're new, consider subscribing so we can stay connected. And if you get value out of this video at any point, please hit the like button. That helps small channels like mine get seen by more people. So let's get started. Adults with avoidant attachment patterning often want love but push it away, sometimes without even realizing that they're doing it. On the surface, it looks like independence, confidence, even self-sufficiency, but underneath that, intimacy and closeness just don't feel safe to their subconscious mind and their nervous system. So to understand this, we have to go back to childhood where all of this got started. Attachment styles or patterning form between the child and the primary caregiver. Now, the primary caregiver is usually mom, but these days it can be dad as well. It's whoever the child is spending the most time with. So between the womb and the age of 7, a child's subconscious mind is what's online. It's wide open and it's downloading everything. It's downloading how mom and dad are treating each other. It's downloading what relationships look like. It's downloading everything that it experiences about life. But it's these first 3 years where the attachment style is getting firmly embedded. And in those first 3 years, this is going to set the foundational blueprint for how any little child is going to experience love later on in life. For little ones who are developing this avoidant attachment style, their primary caregiver was emotionally unavailable or dismissive. They're rarely attuned to their child's needs, and these kids are often left in their cribs to cry it out until they quiet down. And these parents might even say to their children later on when they become adults that you were a good baby and you didn't fuss much. These caregivers end up leaving their little babies alone to cry it out in their crib. Now, back in the day when Dr. Spock was the best advice that new mothers and new parents had, they went by this and it said to let your child cry it out. But now we can see the damaging effects of doing that. A child's cry is all they have to communicate their needs. And an attuned mother, an attuned caregiver starts to learn what all the different cries mean that her child has. And by no means is she getting it right 100% of the time, but she's doing her best to soothe her child's needs and to meet her child's needs. When a child is left alone in their crib to cry it out all by themselves, their little brain is starting to adapt to that trauma. The emotional centers, or the limbic system, which is responsible for bonding, begins to shut down. When their cries go unanswered repeatedly, for survival reasons, they shut down their emotional centers to conserve energy, and the attachment system deactivates. Imagine a little baby who is feeling so much distress and is crying, and their cries are ignored. And that little one's subconscious mind wants it to survive, and it does it by having it shut down the emotional centers in their brain so that they don't waste energy feeling distressed. Because the brain in that little one has had the experience of expressing itself through its cries, from feeling these overwhelming emotions, and nobody is coming to meet their needs. No one is coming to soothe them. So the best option that they have for surviving is to shut down emotionally. And this is all a survival adaptation. So later on, that little kid, when it becomes an adult, is going to have a very hard time connecting to their feelings, because feeling is not safe. Feeling is life-threatening, as they experienced when they were feeling that immense amount of distress in their crib when they were crying it out and no one was coming. Now, I truly believe that everyone is doing the best they can These primary caregivers, chances are, did not get the help that they needed. They didn't even realize there was a problem. This was the best advice they were given, and some mothers even went against their own intuition, thinking that this doctor knew what was best for their baby and that they didn't. So there is no blame here. Everyone is doing the best they can. What ends up happening is that one's attachment style or patterning is handed down from one generation to the next, because it's all that parent knows when it comes to connecting with others, love, and intimacy. These primary caregivers were not attuned to their child's needs. Attunement is that deep felt sense of being understood. And for these little ones, their needs just weren't met. If they were hungry, they would get a diaper change. If they wanted to be held and soothed, they were left alone to cry it out in their crib. If they were tired, they were fed. When the caregiver shows up for this little one, they're just not attuned to what the little one needs. It's through these repeated interactions of not being attuned to that this little one starts to record in their subconscious mind that no one understands me, others cannot meet my needs, and I cannot depend on others. Let me know in the comments down below if this sounds similar to your current experience as an adult. These survival adaptations are going to stay with them throughout their life. Their subconscious mind will recreate these same painful experiences in their adult relationships. They may even consciously want love and connection, but you have to remember that your subconscious mind is running 95% of your habits, behaviors, and decisions. If there is anything you take away from this video, please let it be this. Whatever you experienced in childhood and survived, no matter how traumatic or dangerous it was, your subconscious mind will be drawn to similar people and experiences that will help you recreate and re-experience those same painful dynamics because it knows how to survive them. And the number one job of your subconscious mind is to keep you alive and safe. And it does that by having you repeat what it's familiar with, what it knows how to survive. And for these individuals, their subconscious mind knows how to survive emotional distance, being alone, and disassociating from their feelings. Most people who experience this live their lives repeating these unwanted patterns in love, unaware that all of this could change if they want it to change. When you update your subconscious mind to feel safe with the kind of love that you consciously want, these unwanted patterns start to dissolve. For those of you who are interested in working on this, I do offer a complimentary 15-minute Zoom call. The link is in the description below, and we can see if working together would be a good fit. As adults, dismissive avoidance sabotage love without even realizing it. As intimacy is deepening in their relationships, they pull back. Maybe they start replying late to their partner's text messages, or maybe they don't reply at all. Or maybe they're working late, traveling more, but they're distancing themselves physically and emotionally because that's what feels safest to them. Now, some avoidance as a survival adaptation will even devalue their partners, nitpick their partner's flaws, all of which are an unconscious behavior that will push love away because love and intimacy do not feel safe to their subconscious mind. Some will even experience what I call the grass is greener syndrome, where they'll have one foot out the door and one foot in the door in their relationship, but they're kind of constantly looking out for a possible new partner. Avoidance can even date partners that live in a completely different state or even a different country because, again, this feels the safest to them. But physical and emotional distance in a relationship will erode trust and intimacy over time. And this will leave their partners feeling anxious. There are some cases where avoidance will date other avoidance. I've even heard of couples who will buy a duplex together and one person will live on the top floor and another person will live on the bottom floor, and that works for some. But if it's really not working for you and you'd like to have a different experience in love, please consider reaching out. If this video resonates with you, let me know what your experience with love has been like so far. And please remember, there is nothing wrong with how your brain is working. It's doing a fantastic job at keeping you safe. The good news is if you would like to have a different experience in love, you can. The brain is always changing and evolving, and with the right help, you can attract a partnership you truly want. If you would like to learn more about the subconscious beliefs that get formed for a little child that has avoidant attachment, you can check out this video here. This is what I uncovered as patterns from working with hundreds of different people on avoidant attachment style. Please subscribe so we can stay connected, and if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up if you haven't already, and I hope you have an amazing day.